Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling a message from your higher self, as well as the goddess of magic, transformation, and the crossroads. You all know her and love her. Miss Hecate is in the room, and she's been like, okay, I need to come out. I felt really called to this, and in a weird way, I wanted to get this out for Halloween, but there was a pause, and I'm not sure why, but it goes into the lesson about manifestation because this is really what we're here about, what you want in this world. And if that resonates with you, then this is definitely your reading. And like, comment, and subscribe on this video for a lot more readings like this. And now I have a different setup today. I just felt called to do something a little bit different and try to integrate a little sound healing. So I actually might do this setup in the future. I'm at my keyboard right now, and I have the volume set to level 3 as well as the third setting. So let's see how this goes, because this is all about creating your empire, kings and queens out there. And one of the biggest messages that Hecate has for you is surrounding and involving the need to feel like you are in control of a transition. If you feel stuck at a crossroads right now, if you feel like nothing is going, like things aren't going anywhere, the pause has hit you hard, the integration period has never stopped. So Hecate wants to change your point of view and symbols associated with her, whether you work with her or not. This is going to actually kind of help fuel your transition. You also might work with certain types of Egyptian goddesses, deities, as well as, well, not even that. It feels like you're in this elusive transitional stage and you don't know where the heck you're going. And in a weird way, she was appearing to me in a more comical, like limerick sense, where she was kind of, it's so funny because she is more of this dark feminine energy of receiving. It's like, so I want this and I'm going to go get it. And I know I'm going to get it because I deserve it. But it might not come in the way I see it at first. It might not come in the way I want it. It comes in the way that is necessary. It goes better. It goes according to plan, because the ego is going to hold out to this idea of what it wants rather than what it needs. And when you involve yourself too much in the ego mindset of, well, I'm trying to get this, because all manifestation is like a goal. You're setting a goal. And then manifestation is used as a tool. Like, do you say mantras? Do you do work? When it comes to alchemy, the law of attraction, when it comes to alchemy on the soul, all you need is a goal and the will to reach it. That's it. There's no fancy footwork, fancy spell work needed. There is, every single day you wake up, you are committed to that goal, and you're not going to live your life in peace until you get there. So one of the biggest messages and why you're receiving this now is you feel like you're stuck. You're a deer in the headlights. You see it, but you're frozen. It's like, because you need to make a decision. So okay, so I just got taken to a video game, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, yeah, because I was hearing the melody for the Song of Time, and I saw the Temple of Time. So whether or not you know that franchise, but that entire story that they're making a movie, I heard movie, that story is basically about like changing the past, almost changing the rhythm of a future. It doesn't have to be this way, right? You're stuck at a crossroads. Which way do you go? And it literally is up to you to choose. That's all you have to do. You have to choose. And not making a choice is also a choice, by the way. If you stay stuck at the crossroads, that's what you're doing. In fact, you're not at a crossroads at that point. You're at a rotary. When you are put in a position to decide, do you want this or that? An opportunity arises that puts you on the path to a timeline where you get that thing, you get that promotion, you get that car. You know, you're stuck in that mindset that's keeping you in a loop. You think you're stuck, but you're receiving all the information you need to make a choice. You're just trying to figure out, what is the best choice? How do I decide it? And no one can make that for you. And sitting here and listening to me is not going to help you. because you need to look inside yourself and commit to yourself and your path. So, one of the biggest lessons when it comes to alchemy, there are really only two principles you need to focus on right now. First of all, alchemy is done in the mind. The mind has control over so much. It's like the mind makes it real. It's like you can have all these crystals, you can have these intention stones, but your mind, the pattern you set in your mind, your intentions, you're rewiring your brain to be that thing. No matter what's in front of you, all you need is your mind, your temple, your sanctuary, the safe space you make. And there's nothing wrong with going out there and listening to people. That's an important tool that will also help you. But the two principles in alchemy you need most right now, if you're stuck at the crossroads point, if you're stuck at a decision making point, is mind over matter. One of the biggest, most influential principles of alchemy, mind over matter. The second, you are what you eat. You're surrounded by people who might be there and making the choice for you without an informed decision or with your consent. If you're sharing with other people a choice you have, if you say, hey, I could either get this promotion or get a better job, and you have people being like, no, don't do that. Don't do the thing that puts you in a better position, because they're acting from a place of what they know, not what you need. So the information you receive is things you take into your being. You are what you eat is who are you surrounding yourself with? Who is supporting you? Who do you reveal these opportunities to? Because if they're the ones who are trapped inside a rotary of their own making, you're never going to get out of there. You're stuck at an intersection. You may decide to get out of that rotary, but then you're going to come back in because you see your friends are still there going around in circles. And you might want to try to get them out and say, here, look at this, a better life. But then you're stuck there in that environment. And it might be just a matter of stepping away, checking in, taking into account all your options. And yes, like, do take into consideration, if you trust people and you know people, take it into consideration. Do I do that? But in the end, you have to make a choice. And if it means breaking away from people who are stuck in the rotary, this is the lesson of the crossroads. You are still moving forward, but you're going in circles, thinking something's going to change because you are still stuck listening to the people around you who don't want you to change and don't want you to grow. That might be one reason. Another reason that you might be stuck, like keep chasing your tail around, even though you have a set goal or destination, is you might not know what to choose for you. And that's okay too. Sometimes the universe kind of puts things in our way that forces us to make a decision. And I've been there many times because your will to change is greater. You still have a desire to change. That's why you know you're going to change, because you haven't given up. The only reason you would ever fail is if you give up on a brighter future, if you give up on your dreams and goals. That's how you know you fail. 1 second. So you'll have to bear with me. There are people talking outside my door. So yeah, like I said, I was setting an intention as well to get this video up, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this video because I feel like, okay, there's a message that needs to come through, and it's actually during a time where I've actually stepped outside of Crossroads. I stepped outside of a phase of my life where I felt like I was stuck, but I was continuing to move forward. When a choice came up for me to do something, I was either told to kind of stick the situation out or move on. But eventually, as long as I had the intention to keep going, I would have made it the same choice either way. And it's weird when you see a split in timelines. It's weird when you feel and you can kind of run with your imagination of what can be. And when you're in a transitional phase, if you're highly sensitive and intuitive, you might already know the decision and might see examples of it being made for you. You might even see other people making the same decision you would in the past and staying stuck. And you're saying, well, I don't want to do that anymore. Why would you do that? And that might be a sign for you that that's cleared from you. You're not going to make the same choice. And so I was like, okay, so I am locked in to a specific type of timeline. There's no going back. I want to deliver this message. And she's like, yep, when it comes out, it will come out. So in the past, when I had that happen, and I'm like, there's a message coming through. I like literally, there are specific people who come through, and I'm going to have to pause again because we have disruptive neighbors a little bit, but that's not going to stop me. So as I was saying, in the past, I'm like, okay, there's a message that needs to come through and people need to hear it. And I'm just like, okay, well, I decided I wanted to be a messenger. I wanted to try to use my experience to heal while I'm in this place in my life, doing what I can with the gifts I have and my own like desire to help the community, and try not to put a label on it or anything, but just going in the direction that my heart was telling me to. Every single time, like I get this desire to do it, there would be something that came up. And I was just thinking, was it the way I'm living? Is it a blockage? And in some ways, there were certain blockages, but it was also the people who needed to hear it might not have been ready yet. I was not ready energetically because of the people I might have been interacting with. And it's not their fault. It's not my fault. I was in a place of time where there were certain needs I needed to meet. And it wasn't energetically right for me to then, the wounded healer of, I want to help others. But right now I'm prioritizing myself, and the people who are the entities, the ancestors who are coming through were like, yeah, well, you'll get to it because you've already done this reading. You've already uploaded it. So every single time that happens, I'm like, okay, I wanted to do it on Halloween. I could not for the life of me. I was like out cold. I'm not going to tell you my struggles, but it was just not exactly the best weekend. And I'm like, you know what? I deserve to be the best version of me and I deserve to do it. And I challenged myself, like, okay, I'm going to wait a few days and not do it when I think I have to, but do it when I feel like, okay, now it's there. And then it's like suddenly I was in my kitchen, I was making an iced coffee, and all of a sudden, I was like, you know what? There's so much coming through right now. I just need to say it. And I'm like, so actually kind of happy because before I would be so angry. I'm like, why can't I do this? And it's like, honey, you're not here and you don't exist to just be this. This is part of your life. This is adding to it. I had to reassess, why am I doing this? Why am I here? So the ego and the emotional body might be going through the shift and change within you. You're being prepared to be what you want to be, whatever that might be. And so now, if that resonates with you and you're dealing with that, I'm also going to say, if you identify with this, your soul might resonate with the key of C major. If there are any pop songs out there and you just hear the four chords of pop, heart healing as well. But I think the heart is the key of F. Yeah, because I keep doing, see, again, thirds, the magic of the number three. I'm like doing thirds. And sometimes I will sit down at this thing. I'm not going to record anything when I sit down. It's for me. Sound healing is important. And it might be important for you, a sound bath, or just listening to music. The music you listen to is also an important form of channeling. You are integrating something into your soul because when artists work together, and they don't even have to know each other, by releasing the art into the world, you are working with other artists and telling them, you know what it's like when you listen to someone's breakup song, you know. Oh my goodness. If you're channeling over email, if you're okay, that was interesting. If that's a side message for someone, if you're listening to someone's breakup song, they know what it's like. You're listening to them because now you're not alone. You're listening to those songs so you know you're not alone. Someone else feels exactly like you. And at some point in time, they were feeling what you're feeling. And this is how they get through it. You're listening to a healed version of themselves that's ready to release that. And that's where you are going if you are prepared. And just at the end of the day, the biggest key ingredient to manifestation is love. The intention you set has to be from a place of self and safety and sanctuary. What is best for you is not going to be best for everyone because that would be really boring. It was also okay. So there was this old YouTube channel called The Key of Awesome that did song parodies. You might actually be into listening to like Weird Al and that sort of thing. I think there were a couple others, but like The Key of Awesome, that's interesting. So look, yeah, there's this feeling of lean into your weird, lean into your crazy. Goo Goo Gaga. What's Goo Goo Gaga? Radio Goo Goo Radio Gaga. What is that? I'm gonna look that up later. So sometimes I'll just sit and I'll just tinker on the piano. Sometimes I'll get a melody and I'll play it. Um, I'm hearing it's too soon to go into that. I'll probably do that later. Channeling messages through music might be important to you right now. I'm also seeing the color yellow as well as red, and that's been appearing for me a lot too. That might be a message for me, but right now it's setting on your intentions on what you want to get and just focusing on that. Focus very clearly on what you truly want, and maybe go back to the things you loved in childhood, because there's nothing more authentic than a child. They will tell you their ish, and they will tell you exactly what to do, what they believe and what they think. Go back to the things that made you feel like a child, like that made you feel free. It's like co-creating with the universe. Some of you, I saw an image of someone making something in the original SimCity. So if you like those like simulators, what is that? I hear, oh, Dungeon Keeper. I'm hearing Dragon Simulator. They're Dragon Tamer Keeper Simulator. Like, I'm like MDOS. Oh, oh, like a point and click adventure game, like King's Quest. I'm also seeing the TV show Hey Arnold. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm just hearing a lot of side messages, but it's weird. I keep saying this in almost every reading. Go back to your inner child. Go back to who you were before you learned to be someone different. Before you learned to be someone you didn't want to be. You wanted to be an astronaut. You want to be a barrelina, barrel, ballerina. Ooh, barrelina. Oh my goodness. Write down in the comments if that means something to someone. Barrelina. So I was trying to say ballerina, but I could not stop saying barrel. And now I'm seeing an image of a woman in a barrel, like a costume, like for a circus, like a barrelina. Like Donkey Kong throwing barrels down at the princess. And then Donkey Kong becomes the hero of his own franchise. And like TBH, I kind of am more of a Donkey Kong country girl. I will be honest with you, but it's like not reliving your childhood, reliving it through the magic of alchemy, which is who was I? That is who you were. You were the most authentic version of yourself you will ever be. You were your soul when you were a child, when you were two. And if you're 22 or 20, 23, 24, 38, 67, if you're any of those ages, you can still be that you. It will not change. Only you get to decide what your soul does in this lifetime. And it came here to grow and learn and experience before the world told you, no, you have to nose to the grindstone, baby. It's like, that's not living, that's surviving, and that's not good for your soul. If you're stuck on the hamster wheel of life, you're stuck going in circles. It's like, hey, maybe I shouldn't swim with the school of fish who's just not going anywhere, and justifying that. And that's okay. Some people need to have that, because that might just be stability for some people. That might just be happy. But if you're not happy there, go another way. This is about finding your happiness. I'm all about promoting happiness on this channel. I lit my happiness candle for you. If you staying stuck in the same school of fishes is not good for you, it's not your truth. It's not who you are. You might be wearing a mask, because now I'm seeing someone wearing a mask, someone who's just blending into the crowd. And now the song Automatic by Half Alive is coming up. And don't stop, Automatic. Living an illusion. Yeah. It's like the people you are with, you might have had to conform to out of feeling of safety. That is another issue I feel coming up a lot. And this is confirmation for those of you who might be feeling like I'm existing in the community for the sense of belonging, rather than the sense of you actually belong with them. Are they actually your people? Or do you feel like there's no one else in this world and I'm already too old, too deep into it to find new people? And it's like, there's always a community for everybody. But if you're wearing a mask or fitting into a mold that's not meant for you, that's not healthy. They're going in circles, might be fine for them. Something that you want is not going to be sustained by that. So be your authentic self, and the people who can't accept that will fall away, because the ones in your environment who accept you are going to help you grow. They're going to help you manifest. And a lot of this is about taking your time. Yeah, I'm also hearing people will be jealous of you. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so another Half Alive song came up. Half Alive. Oh. Yeah, okay, so the song Arrow. The hardest place to be is right where you are. In the space between the finish and the start is the arrow in your heart. There's nothing more painful than knowing you want something different. You're writing your "I Want" song for your independent musical, and I'm like still like I'm stuck on the thirds, like C major. Go back to basics, baby. Go back to middle C. It doesn't matter if you like music or not. Like go back to middle C. I think you're stuck in a minor chord, and you need a resolution. You're stuck to the beat of someone else's drum, and you feel like you're off rhythm, and it's like no, you're not there. So you feel like you're desyncopated, not the life you anticipated. But it's like you're not here to do that. You're here to do syncopated beats. You're not just like on beat. You're like I'm in a jazz band. Your soul is like I want to be in a jazz band, but I am in. I'm in an a cappella group, which is okay. Well, that's interesting. Like your soul wants to play jazz, but the people around you aren't letting you. You're not free to do that. So that seems to be kind of like this theme of jealousy is popping up. Once you find your happiness and you go to be of your own drum, you're going to influence other people to do the same. And that might spark jealousy and chords again, progression. People either progressed or they get stuck. You struck a chord, who knows what's going to happen? Oh my gosh. Okay. So you're also, Hecate is coming through with a sense of humor. You need to tap into the sense of humor. Either your guides, your higher self has a sense of humor, because I just felt this giddiness. I felt this, like, I'm like happy. This is you. This is what you want. And like, I also did some candle magic before. I lit a candle for happiness, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to embody this. Like, what do you need to do to be free? Like, I'm embodying the vibe of this is who you are. You're so happy. Loose, fancy, free. And I'm being interrupted by songs. You might actually be a musician, or you might be like channel through music. You might feel through music. You might communicate through music. If you are neurodivergent, that might be the way you express feelings. Like this is a love song. This is how I tell you I love you. You know, this is how I feel today. And then you send a sad song to your friend, and you're like, okay, I'm over here. I'm over here with keys. I'm over here with this. Just let the energy of those who don't exist on your future timeline bounce off of you, and have patience. It's not going to happen overnight. This world likes to do the whole one and done quick scheme of you know if you've made it, when it's like you don't make it. You reach a goal and then you continue living. You maintain the goal. But it's like if you're out there seeking the destination, like you've already won the game of life. You were born and you're still alive. Like, holy crap, like what we've been through as a collective, you're still alive. You still want to do better. There's a lot of high energy here. I'm hearing some of you might need to cut back on caffeine or just a little. But I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm getting this real sense of peace actually too. Oh yeah. So yeah, the color peach tea also. And now I feel like I'm free channeling, like I'm free flowing. And that might be a state you need to get in to actually make a proper decision. Because when you're in a sense of flowing and you just end up being like, oh, I know what to do. Because you're not too focused on everybody else's voice. You're just listening to you. However, you get into that state of flow, that's how you figure it out. And you can figure it out in the weirdest of places, the quietest of places, the loudest of places. You can find it out in a music hall, in a dance hall. You could go line dancing or square dancing and be like, hey, I want to be a cactus farmer. Oh, okay. Another sign that Hecate is in your energy is cactus or cacti. Like that is another, okay. Some of the other signs of synchronicity that she's working with you right now or she's around you, whether you decide to work with her or not, well, some signs and synchronicities that might appear around this time or a time of transition for you are like bat wings. It wasn't just a Halloween themed reading I'm doing. Keys. I'm also seeing 4-leaf clovers. So maybe even, oh, good luck. Okay, March and Valentine's Day. Yeah, I think there's something that needs to just be released in the meantime. It's just being yourself. You might even want to take up dancing. Like go to a local theater, go to a local theater group, maybe. See someone else's production. You know, you don't have to be on center stage. Just watching other people live their truth could even help you find your own. Like me fiddling around on the piano, maybe. Like I literally am like I'm just playing the same three notes. It's like C E C, C E C G. And I'm like, what does that mean? It's like simplicity, back to basic. Learn your chords and arpeggios. Add a little bit of flair to it. Whether that is, I'm also seeing a saxophone. You don't have to be a jazz pianist. You don't have to be in band. But it's like, what did you like to do? You don't have to be good at it. Just go up to your library, pick out an instrument if they rent it out, and just like fiddle around. Do a tutorial. Something that you used to do or like doing, like fiddle around with the guitar, make up your song, make up a story, like be a bard. Oh, God. Okay, so that was interesting because I also heard the phrase "be a bard or a gigolo." Whoa, whoa. See. Okay, so I'm gonna get to another message from her, and then we're gonna take a look at some science synchronicities as well as warnings. So we have the King of Wands. I don't know what this means, but I just heard the phrase the Queen of Ego or Ego. Queen of Let go of the Queen of the. Okay. Now I heard the song King of Anything by Sarah Bareilles. Who cares if you disagree? You're not me. Who made you king of anything? Ah. Okay. The Queen. Oh, God. Okay, well, I'm not gonna show because she's not. eh. I also keep hearing the phrase Hecate's nuts, so definitely. And you, by the way, apparently that's not insulting. She's very giddy that I'm like embodying this. Because that literally, like 5 days ago, when I was like, I'm setting intentions to do this, she's like, okay, you're working with me now. And we were kind of having a weird back and forth because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do the reading. And she's like, listen, when you're good, it will be fine. The queen of ego, the king of anything. The people around you might be trying to override your ego because when we look at, because I keep hearing the phrase narcissist report, there might be people around you trying to make a decision for you. I'm hearing energetic genetic overhaul. There might be some generational wounds too, as well as a pattern of behavior that existed in your family for so long. It's literally a part of you. And it's a part of every human being at the moment. Because you have to understand, like our ancestors, like existed and survived in survival mode during times of war and famine. And this is recent history. It wasn't even 100 years ago. We had the Great Depression. We had like that extreme poverty, and everybody had to survive by coming together. And right now, the souls of this world feel it. It's like you have to commit to yourself and what you know is best for you. And what's best is just following that inner truth. To discover the inner truth is, where was I before someone else told me what I can and cannot do with my time, what I can and cannot wear? Like, you want to be a pretty princess and you're not the gender norm or the gender specific target audience for being a princess. Like, what if you just went out and bought a dress and bought makeup and in the privacy of your home, you just said, you know what, I'm going to be a princess today. It doesn't matter. You just get to be you. Like, what if you're like a girl who wanted to play soccer or rugby or a lacrosse or a sport that your family was like, you don't get to play that sport? Like, I'm even called to use an example from my own family. We were a family of musicians and artists, and I had that drive in me. But I also wanted to be a dancer, and my family didn't know that. So I had this feeling of, you know what? I'm going to be in my room and I'm going to make up all these dances. I remember one day, like I was so bored and I was cooped up and I wanted to be out there dancing and free. I made up an improv dance to music in a video game. And I will never forget that day where I was just in the hallway listening to my brother play this video game and I'm just doing this dance and it was all interpretive. And then it's like 20 years later, I joined like two different dance groups and I was on stage as a hobby because it's like, that's who I am. I went back to childhood and I was the happiest, literally the happiest I have been. And it didn't need to be anything other than just, I'm enjoying this time. It's who I am. My family didn't know that. But you know what? I want that. And you can do that too, like whoever you are out there. And you might have different things standing in your way, but I'm going to just let you know that You can do literally, if you want to do it and you know on some level you're capable, you don't have to be like the professionals. You do it your way because it makes you happy. Like I went and joined a bowling league one time. I suck at bowling. I could not bowl higher than a 90, but I was out there and I'm like getting straight. I'm getting like gutter ball after gutter ball, but I was so happy. I'm like, yeah, I suck today. Oh, I bowled 60. Like literally the top score is 300. I bowled 60 average. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I was with people having fun. I was with strangers who were older than me and just shooting the breeze. Like, this is what life is about, people. Just go out there, meet people, enjoy your life. For goodness sake, I feel like, okay, it's funny. I'm doing that. I'm like, oh my gosh, my Sicilian ancestors are like coming out to be like, you gotta go out and do it. What are you I'm not gonna swear on this channel, but every single time I channel my ancestors, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting there? Stop. Go out. Get some fish sticks. Dude, y'all. Dude, freaking fish sticks. Sorry, I don't know why that came up, but I just saw an image of a haddock and I'm like, yeah, no, those are my ancestors. Bunch of fishermen. Okay. Hold on a second. So, finding peace in the meantime while you're going through this, just don't fight it. There are a lot of people here who want to fight you every step of the way. There are a lot of people who just don't want you to see this through, and it's like, that's okay. That's their energy. That's their vibe. You stay in your lane. Even if your lane is slightly behind them, because I still be being taken to the rotary analogy. Like, that's a new that's a new echo I'm hearing. If you have been drawn to rotaries lately, that also might be a sign for you. It's like, where do you choose to get off? Because there's more choices when you go around about. Like there's like the four-way intersection, there's the two-way. Like these are your two choices. And it's like, well, you can choose literally any path, but you have to pick which path you get off because you have to get off. That's the difference between, at an intersection and a rotary. You can absolutely decide to be like, oh, I'm entering the rotary. Oh, I'm going to go back down the same road I've been before. You, when you're at a crossroads, have to pick a direction. You can't necessarily go back unless you want to pull a U-turn in that intersection. That's not going to be good for anybody. But at a rotary, you have to decide. You have to get off eventually. Are you going to go back the same road you came through? Or are you just going to be like, any of these paths are fine? Literally, this is it. Choose a path. Choose what you want and keep going. Don't turn around back the path you came from. You can't anymore. Your heart is leading you in a direction. And one of the biggest things you have to understand is you can't make a wrong choice. Even if a choice doesn't work out for you, it doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you learned a lesson you wouldn't have learned if you didn't make a choice. You're learning what is not good for you because you're making a choice. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. Life is about life is about living. Life is about doing what you think. Sometimes it's trial and error. You can never make a wrong decision, just a decision that might not be best for you. You cannot make a wrong decision, just a choice that you might change your mind on. And I want to repeat this message. If you're stuck in this perfectionist mode of I have to make the right choice, like cutting a wire, this is not a fucking bomb. Excuse my language. I am channeling my ancestors a little bit, and I know they're my ancestors. They've been with me through this. They worked with these types of deities. That was one of the biggest pains too. They wanted to continue working with this energy, but they were told to be silent. They were told to behave. And now these ancestors are like, we're not behaving. We're speaking through this. This is our sister. This is our voice. They were cut off. They were silenced. You are not meant to behave. You're not meant to keep going around. Get off the rotary. It doesn't matter what choice you make because you are refusing to stay stuck. You are refusing to change. So what do you do in that? Those are two extremes. They can't exist on in the same frequency, right? You can't be, I want to change, but I'm not going to. So you have to decide, do you want to change? So that's a little bit of tough love I feel coming through because this is coming out as a shadow aspect of you might not want to change. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. You can choose not to change. It's okay. That's the biggest message. No matter what you choose, it is okay. You are not bad. You are not wrong. You are still loved, and it's fair. Everything is fair and equal. It's your choice. But don't let your ego get in the way of your happiness. So that's a lot that came out, and you might have to. Okay, you need to channel your ancestors a little bit more because there might be some generational trauma or pain. Because it feels like on a DNA level, you are stuck on an energetic level as well as environmental. Like I said, getting away from your environment and just being with you. And I heard the phrase problem solved. Something is keeping your soul stuck in this loop because I keep hearing the phrase synchronicity. If you've been I'm hearing the song Believer. If you are a true believer and you understand and you see these messages over and over again, there's still something that's stuck and it's not your fault because you are able to channel these messages as well from your higher self and ancestors. Because I keep hearing you're seeing the signs and synchronicities. You might be refusing to change, but not because of something that is your control or fault. It might have to do with something in your environment that you don't know about, and it's something inside of you, and that might be about to change. If you've been sensing there's a lot of disruptions, you've been sensing things are falling apart, that is actually part of what you are wanting, is things falling apart because you know deep down inside it's not working and you're still deciding to change. If you're asking for help changing, the world will kind of change for you and you can choose to go back to the way it was. Hold on to those relationships. If those relationships or jobs or the places you used to work or live or learn, if they fall away and you're choosing to cling on to it to try to get it back, that's what's keeping you stuck. The other thing that might be happening is I'm hearing synchronicity again. You might not be paying attention to them because you're afraid. You're afraid of going into the truth. You're afraid of I'm hearing echo. So I also refer to synchronicities, and I'm hearing your ancestors as well refer to synchronicities as echo. Follow the echo. It will lead you to where you belong. And now you don't have to solve it. They're breadcrumbs leading you to a destination or hockey pucks. Okay. Sing it in a song, whatever you're feeling deep down inside, because there's something inside, a wound that is stuck. Like I'm seeing this Nine of Swords, and I'm seeing this spade facing down. Like there is a sword in the soul of your family line that is like pinning you down, and it doesn't have to be heavy. And I think, okay, Hecate says she's agreeing. You might just need to ask for extra help and insight, a sign you cannot miss, but a sign you will not forget either, because there is a wound buried so deep down. You might even be blind to it. You might be afraid. You might not discover what it is until you are in a state of mind or place where you have peace. And if you're surrounded by people who block out your ability to feel peace or channel these energies, you're not going to be able to free yourself because your body knows it's not safe to rest. It's not safe. Your body knows better than you. Your body is keeping these messages from coming in and blocking your ability to feel this, because the only way to alchemize it is to process the pain that the ancestors could not. And I'm going to give you something, and this might be a trigger warning, but I'm still processing a lot of the pain of my ancestors, and they know that these wounds are so deeply hidden. Like it's hard to change. You're not going to change overnight, and I'm here with you, babies. You're going to be okay. It's going to take time. Do not be hard on yourself. It's not your fault. Rewiring your brain and your DNA and stepping away from these environments, that is so freaking challenging and difficult. You're not going to have all the answers. You don't need to. There's a wound deep down inside that is hidden, that is basically keeping you stuck in this process, pinning you down. And you might need to call on a higher power or just an outside source, which might just be watching something on the television and it clicks. It's like, wait a minute, I know what happened in my lifetime to make me feel this way. Or it might be, like I said, you're not in the right environment or space to heal. You might not have the right people. Going out and seeking help and taking time to heal, that's a process as well. And I'm like, I'm still going through mine. Like I said, even this morning, I was reliving a pain I felt that I found out the core wound that was keeping me stuck in a loop this morning, guys. I had already made it onto the timeline I chose. I already knew I was moving forward and I could kind of see glimpses of stuff coming in. But I found a wound this morning, literally, and I cried for 2 hours. And then I went back to what I usually do when I feel something deeply and I need to heal. I listen to music, and I'm like, this person in the song, they get me. They know it. I'm not alone. And I felt so much clearer because I sat down and I'm like, I love myself too damn much to end up being hurt like that again. Whoever designed that for me, that's not allowed anymore. I'm not going to allow myself to be hurt that way because I love myself. I know that was wrong. And it's still going to take time, I know, but that's what you got to do sometimes. If you're not in a safe place energetically to feel, your nervous system is going to cut you off. So that's why it's good to have these habits and these spaces that give you permission to grieve and dig deep down. Like, who am I? Where did it come from? And talk to your higher selves. Talk even to others who know the pain, going to a support group, self-help, even coming here, listening to the radio, like getting guidance on this transitional phase. So this might not be something as extreme as a wound for some of you, but some of you, it's just about changing your environment, changing your attitude, who you listen to, who you exchange glances with, and just allowing yourself to freely mold into the person you want to be, which is untethered, unlimited. Your potential is unlimited and you are free. And now that is the message I have for you, dear viewers. And I want to thank you for joining me. I wish you all the love in the world and the best wishes on this path forward. I will see you in another reading.